Breaking news out of Ukraine. On the coast, Russian naval warships loom and planes drop bombs. And in Bordyanka, take a look, total decimation and destruction as the Russian siege rages on. And in Engovar, like in so many other parts of Ukraine, air raid sirens warn the citizens that danger is on the way. And out of this disaster, a hero emerges. Ukraine's President Zelenskyy says roughly 16,000 foreign volunteers have arrived in Ukraine to help fight for the country's freedom. Today, he appeared on television to take reporters' questions. Listen to his dire warning for the rest of Ukraine and the rest of Eastern Europe.
If we don't exist anymore, God forbid, remember our meeting. Next will be Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Moldova, Georgia, Poland. They will then be walking until they reach the Berlin Wall.
All right, he's right. Putin's war is not about money or political necessity. Putin's attacking Ukraine out of ego, spite in the fact that he spent over decades working to rebuild the former Soviet Union, and he has failed miserably so far, folks. This fight isn't us against Russia, it's us against Vladimir Putin, a madman who will do everything in his power to take over Eastern Europe, even if it means attacking NATO countries. And when asked about speaking with President Putin, here's what Zelenskyy had to say.
What do you want from us? Go away from our land. You don't want to leave now? Sit down with me at the negotiation table. I'm available. Sit with me, but not at 30 meters like you welcomed Macron and Schultz and others. I'm your neighbor. You don't need to keep me at 30-meter distance. I don't bite. I'm a normal man. Sit down with me. Let's talk. What are you afraid of?
What Zelenskyy is going to show the world the insane fraud you read. While our own president stands frozen in fear of offending everyone, our guy, a fragile, feckless, feeble president, stands and watches a war break out. That war between Russia and Ukraine is really a tale of apart by plane, and yet the two presidents couldn't be further apart. What Vladimir Putin sees in the mirror is a far cry from what he really is. Putin fancies himself as a tough guy. I mean, how many pictures have we seen of this man riding a big horse, shirtless, or wrestling a bear, shooting a tiger? And how many times have we heard about the 8 goals he scored against the Russian hockey team? One of the best hockey teams the world over. Yet somehow, this little man, standing just 5'7", and that is probably Russian propaganda, somehow this little 5'7" man, almost 70 years old, scored 8 goals in a few minutes on ice against National Hockey League players. That story is true, folks. And that story is a perfect metaphor for who Putin is and how everyone around him and everyone in Russia is afraid to get in the path of this sociopath. That hockey story is exactly why I believe Putin will not relent until he's taken all of Ukraine and killed Volodymyr Zelenskyy. That hockey story is a preview of what lies next for Ukraine when that falls to this madman. I should say if she falls. But Russia is a massive military superpower, and Putin is psychopathetic. So why he won't stop until he gets what he wants is what I'm saying here. And he won't stop at Ukraine, folks. Believe you me, this man is operating on his massive ego and sitting upon a weapons arsenal almost unmatched the world over. Francis Macron had a call earlier today with Putin, 90 minutes long. The French president was hoping to talk to Putin, world leader to world leader, trying to get through that massive Putin ego and talk him away from those bombs and tanks. Unfortunately for the world, Macron was apparently visibly upset with this attack until the end, until Russia has dragged Ukraine kicking, screaming, and bleeding. The hero emerging from this war is Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. That man is a true hero, a leader That man is the #1 target on Putin's kill list, and yet that man, Zelenskyy, is risking his life every day by appearing, and he has a seemingly disregard for his own potential demise to keep a strong face for the Ukrainian people who are fighting to the death in their cities and countryside. Yes, we're seeing a transfer of power, folks, from a small little narcissistic thug dictator, a bully as it turns out, who sees himself as some sort of global sex symbol. That power is pouring out of the Putin persona and flooding into the Zelenskyy persona. Zelenskyy has become the leader the world needs right now. They say power abhors a vacuum. And the ominous vacuum left by Putin and Biden is being transferred to Zelenskyy. The problem is, folks, like a Marvel movie, when the big bad villain, the Goliath, sees the world rallying around the underdog, the David, the villain becomes relentless in the pursuit to exterminate the underdog. So Godspeed, President Zelenskyy, we support you. I just had an idea. Why don't we in the United States offer our very, very talented U.S. Secret Service to protect Zelenskyy? They're capable of keeping him alive. The world needs Zelenskyy to stay alive, to survive. We hope he does. As